So today is day 24, 21st October 2020. We'll start with object-oriented JavaScript. In this, we'll see functions that return functions. Second thing which we'll do is problems, and we'll see the problem anagram. And third, we'll go with the ReactJs, and we'll see what we can do today. So let's start with the object-oriented one. So let me open this. One second. Sorry. So first thing we'll do is what we call as object-oriented function that return the function. Okay, so a function can return only one value. It can be any data type, string, object, array, and this value can be another function too. So generally we return string, array, object or numeric, but we can also return another function. So for example, I have function A, and it does something like it alerts I am A, and then it can return another function which will alert I am B. For example, this another function is B. So when I call A, it will alert something, and then it will return another function which I can call again, and then it will call alert I am B. So in this function, in this example, the function A does its job. What was the job of A? To alert I am A. It does its job and then returns another function that does something else. That is, it says I am B. So you can assign this return value to a variable and then use this variable as a normal function. So for example, I can say var C equal to A. So I call C equal to A. When I call C and I call A, this A will return this function, but first it alerts it and then it returns this function. So then again when I call C, it will alert B. So let's see this. So if I have this function and I say var C equal to A, so when I see var C equal to A, it's saying I am A. That means when I call this, execute this A, alert is called and then it returns this function. So the ultimately C now have this function, and so if I say C, it is saying I am B. So no matter how many times I call C now, it will say alert B, because C is a new function which is this one. So generally we assign object and then C becomes object, but here we return the function, so C becomes the function and C will take this new function, and that is called the function that returns the function. I can also call A and then multiple times again this one. So when I say A, round bracket, it is calling I am A, and then again I call this parenthesis, so it will again initiate I am B. So what this is called, let me write down. So first here, the first line will alert I am A, and the second line will alert I am B. I'm just writing what I said. So here first line will alert I am A and the second line will alert I am B. If you want to execute the return function immediately without assigning it to a new variable, you can simply use another set of parentheses. The end result will be the same. For example, I can say A, I invoke it, and then I invoke the return value also. So the first parenthesis will invoke the A, that is this alert, and it will return this one. And when I am calling this parenthesis, it is invoking this function. Okay, so don't think that this parenthesis is invoking this one and this parenthesis is invoking this one is wrong. So you have to think, when I call A, forget about this parenthesis. What A does alert I am B, and then it returns this function. Since the return is function, I can only see it when I call another parenthesis, that is this one. So there are few problems in future we will do in few days that will take use of this concept. One function will return another function, and then we have to initiate another function. So there is a practical problem which people ask in interview, which we will see, and those are based on this logic. So we have to create a function and we return something, and then we have to call return one. And there is one interesting problem which I will share with you in few days once we will complete this little more, because this is the beginning of what I am explaining you. I'll be going more into detail about this return function and what are the advantages of this return function. We'll see, and we'll see some problems on this return function. And this return function is very important, and in many of the interview this is asked frequently. So keep this in mind, that return functions are very important. Okay. So we are done with today's object-oriented concept, that is functions that return function. We'll see more into detail this tomorrow and day after tomorrow, because this is a very important chapter in object-oriented JavaScript. Let's go to the problem anagram. Every day we'll do some problem, whether it's a simple or complicated. The reason is you should be hands-on on the problems, and if you go for interview, they will definitely ask any one of the problem, and we will be covering 500 to 1000 problems, and most probably in any interview the problem will be from the list of 500 to 1000 which I will be showing you. So whenever I show some problem, just do 3-4 times in a day to refresh that one. So when you go for an interview, you should be prepared for that problem. If it comes, new problems come, you have to think and you have to find the answer. But if it comes with what we have done, you can easily answer them. And if you give 10 to an interview, one of the person will definitely ask between what we have already done it. Okay, so let's go to the anagram and see what are the anagrams. So anagrams are basically, you have to compare the two strings. Compare the two strings, and if the string 1 has all characters which are also in string 2, then we say it is anagram. For example, if I say string 1 is ABC and string second is CBA, so though C is a different position, but first one is also having 3 letters, second one is also 3 letters, first one is also having A, B and C, second one is also having C, A, B and C. So these two are anagram because both are having same characters. Okay. Both have same characters. So this is anagram. So let me write down what we are doing. Okay, let's take another example. Cat is one string, dog is another string. So these are not anagram because both have different characters, though size is same. So we have to write a program which will check this one with this one. So there are many methods you can do. We'll see few methods how to achieve this one. So the first method is, so it is assumed that all characters will be lower characters, so you don't have to worry about the lowering the case, or there will be they can put special characters, but consider for now there is no special character also. So we have just a pure string on number, numeric. So what we have to do, it is a string format. Numeric will be, maybe it's inside the, inside the string there will be number 1, 2, 3. So we are passing string only. So consider this as a string. So for example, what I will do, I will, first method, we are doing method 1. This is a simple one which we'll do today. Tomorrow we'll do little complicated method. So method 1 will be, I'll convert this string, step 1, convert to array. Because I want to sort this in ascending order and also sort this ascending order. So first I'll convert to array. So what I'll do, function, let's say I'll write a function anagram, and it takes a string 1 and string 2. And first step is to convert to array. So we'll convert this to array and convert this to array. Okay. So let's say constant, for example, I'm saying A, I'll convert string 1 to dot split. When I say split, that means I'm converting into an array. And if I don't put any space, then each character will go into the array. And I'll do same thing for the B one. This is 2. Okay, now what I'll do, I will sort it. Sort means A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'll sort it. Dot sort. Okay, after sorting, I'll join it again. So that join means it will convert array to string. So I'll do join. So now A is converted to array, sorted, and then join it. String 2 converted to array, sort it, and join it. So first step is convert to array. Step 2 is sort it, sort the array. Step 3 is join the array to a string. So we are converting basically array to string. Convert to string. Okay, so these are the three steps. One is string to array, sort it, array to string. Now when I sort A and B, ABC will remain as it is, ABC because this is already sorted. But CBA will become also ABC. So both things will become same once I sort it. So if both are same, we have to just check if both are same or not. And if I sort these two, this A, C, T will be this and D, G, O will be this, which are different. So once we sort it, we have to just say if both are same or not. So I'll just say return A equal to B. So if both are same, if it is anagram, A will be equal to B and this will return true and anagram is true. And if both are different, this will return false and anagram will be false. So this is a simple way to do anagram. So for now we'll check it, we'll test it, anagram, and we'll put ABC, and second we'll say CBA, and we'll see it is coming true. And if I pass cat and dog, it will give me false. So this is a simple way to do the anagram. Let's copy this and save it in our repository. That is well. Okay, so I'll go into the JavaScript and I'll create a folder anagram, and I'll say new file anagram 1.js. So this one we are doing method 1. Anagram, and this one is coming true. This is output you should be expecting. This is the output you should be expecting for this one. So this is anagram, very simple problem. Just go through it. Tomorrow we'll do anagram again, but it will be little complex than this one, but that one will also be very simple one because anagram problem is very simple one. Okay, so this is what we completed anagram. So next will be now the React. So React, we started yesterday pass server, and many people have installed the pass server, and everyone's pass server is working. I assume that. So if your local MongoDB is not working, we can go to MongoDB Cloud Atlas, and I can sign in. So log in with Gmail. So you can use this Atlas one for the free. They give free 500 MB, I think 500 MB space. So you have to finish all the steps. So when you come first time, it will ask database access, network access, advanced, and user, new user. You have to finish all the steps, create a new user, and then create a new cluster. I already created the cluster, so you can see the cluster here. So once you create the cluster, you will get this interface, and then you have to click the connect. When you click the connect, there are three methods where you can connect the MongoDB. So just use for our parse one, we need the second method, and I'll click the choose your application. So here I'll choose the driver, which one I want to use. I'll use Node.js, and version I have to choose. I'll choose the latest version, and then I get this string. This string is something which we need for our parse server. So let me go to the parse server. If you go to the parse server and I go to the index.js. So instead of this one, MongoDB, this is my local one. I will delete this one and I will use this one, new one. So here I will change the password and I'll change the database to complete React. And this password will be whatever password you have. So this is the one which I will replace. Rest everything will remain same, and when you will run, it will work fine, and this data will be stored on the server. So this is for testing purpose because it's a free and you are limited one. But if you have your own, you can put it in virtual server, and then you can use unlimited space for the MongoDB. Okay, so this is something you have to do safe if you have local local MongoDB. So let me now run the parse server and then start our React task. Let me see if it is running. So it's not running. Let me run it. Okay, let's go to terminal. So I'll go to cd parse server. Okay, I will say npm start. Let it start. Okay. One second, I'll be back. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? I'm back. Okay, so this server is started. Okay, now, so this server is started. Let's see again that server localhost 1337. So when I go to home page, I see server is again. So if I go to parse, I will get unauthorized. This is fine. This is normal because this parse has too much security in it. So direct accessing of parse is not allowed. We have to use the API, and with different API we can access it. So test is fine. Let's check the test. So everything is working fine. Our parse service is working. Let's go to dashboard. So dashboard should show you all this one. So this game score is dummy one. Just you don't need it. Let's delete it. We don't need it. So for that, I will click edit and I'll say delete all rows, put the game score in it, and I'll delete it. And then I'll delete the class also. So everything which you see on the left side is called the class. So right now you'll see role and user are already created the class. We can create more class, like add a class. Consider this class as a table. You know, if you go with olden days, MySQL table. So these are the table, and it is named here as a class. Okay, so whenever we don't have to create manually, right? Like in olden days in MySQL, you have to first create the table and then use it in your code. But here, when you write in your code, it will automatically create it here. So you don't have to create it manually, though you can create it manually and use it. But if you have not created it, it will create automatically. So create a class is the thing. That is something you're creating the table. Right now, we are not on that phase to create a class because we have to do something other than creating the class today. So this is a user one. So user means whenever you write a script to register or sign in, when you register someone, all the data will go into this table user, and user will be logged into our website. You can see there are different fields already here, and we can add more fields also. So tomorrow is, let's say we want to add the gender in our user. So we can add it and the new field will come here in the top. So there will be add column. So right now we can add the column also. But let's see, delete a column. Right now we don't have any of our new column, so we cannot delete it. You cannot see all the fields here, but here you can see. So we have object ID, email verified, ACL, updated date, auth data, username, created at, password, and email. So these are the few fields which are already there in the user class or user table, you can think. But if you add gender, age, that will be automatically added after this, and you can take use of them also. So you can put n number of fields in the user profile, and this will be added here in this one. So today we will start building the auth one, that is sign in, sign out functionality. And this is the one time, because my whole project, let's say if I build 100 projects or 1000 projects or 10,000 projects, all will be using this single sign in, sign out page. So I don't have to create separately for all my projects, because each project is individual project. So we can take use of this functionality in all of the projects. So we will be building the sign in, sign out functionality today, and we may not finish it today, but we'll see how much I can finish today. Otherwise, we'll take it rest tomorrow. So this is let me start the React folder. Let me open the React folder. So this is the React folder which yesterday I created. I showed you. I created few folders like widgets, utility, projects, and components. And projects, I project 001 and project 002. And when I go to app.js, I can choose which project I want to see, whether I want to see project 1 or whether I want to see project 2. If I say 1 and I go to localhost 3000, I will see project 1. And if I change it to project 2, so it will show me project 2. Okay, so based on the project 1 and project 2, I can display the data to the user. So right now, I'll go with project 1. So before even going to login page, we have to build a routing which we will be using for the project 1, and we'll do that now. Okay, let me start the routing for the project 1. So each project will have its own routing. Okay, it will have its own routing. So you can create different routing for different projects. So for the project 1, we will create routing as follows. So let's create first new folder. In the components, this is for my login functionality. I just created the blank files for now, and then I'll go with routing. In the auth, in the components will be all common things will be here, which I can use in any of the project. So I created auth in the components folder, and inside the auth, I will create a new file. New file will be, for example, login, or we can say uh, auth.jsx. Let's make it auth.jsx. I can create a new file called as auth.css if I want to use some custom CSS. I will also create logout.jsx now. Okay, so these are three things I created. Okay, and I'll also create a readme file if I need to put some notes in it. So I will create readme file which I will fill later once I have notes, some kind of thing. So these two files will take use of soon when I build the login sign and logout functionality. So in the CSS part I don't need it now. Auth, I will create some dummy template. Okay, so this is my auth. I'm just creating it for my routing purpose. Okay. And in app, I'm calling project 1 routes. So this route is in the project 2. Let's create, we have to go into the project 1 routes. Okay, so we are now inside the project 1 routes. So we'll be creating routes here. And you have to follow me how to create the routes. I have already explained routing in my routing session, how to create routes and how to create private routes, how to create the layout of the routes. If you have not seen, you can go back to that video and see it. Routes are nothing but creating the different URL and accessing different components built on the URL. So that is the simple one is. So we will be adding some more things in the route today. So just pay attention how to create the routes. Just pay attention how to create the routes. Okay, so first I will create one component called as home.js, which will be first displayed to the user. So I created this home.js RFCE, and this home will be displayed first to the user. So when user goes to localhost slash this is the main home page, I should be displaying the home page, this one. Okay, so that's why I created this home page. So how to create the routes? Just pay attention. I have to import few things. Import browser router as router. So browser router is a functionality which is coming from React Router DOM, and we rename it to router. So when we use in our page, we will not use browser router, we use router. Though we can only say browser router, and then we can use browser router in our page. But when I say browser router as router, then that means in my page I want to rename browser router to router, and I will be using router in my page. And then there will be switch statement, then there will be redirect statement, and there will be route 1 statement. Okay, so these are things I will import from React Router DOM. Okay, so these are the things I have to import. If you remember, yesterday I created one file in the utilities called as myboundary.jsx file. I will import. This is in, I have put also in the assets folder, which you can copy it. So import my error boundary. I will show you what is the use of this in few days when time comes. I'll just explain what it is. Okay, this is a utility. If something error comes, we just show the error to the user. That is the utility. So I'll go to my utils folder and I'll call my error boundary. Okay. So I'll be creating this routing. I'm showing you this routing today. When we create a new project, we'll just copy this routing and paste it there. We don't have to do it again. Only we have to change the path in another one. Now I need one layout for my routing, which I will create now. In the project 1, I create a new file called as route with layout. So this is my layout which I will be using. Okay, let's forget it now. I will show you what to put in this. I already explained this in my routing class, but I will explain it again once I reach to that point. Okay, so I will import this one. Import route with layout from route with layout. So I call this route with layout file. So this route with layout is container where it it will tell which layout I am using it and other things. It will we have to mention whether it is private route or authenticate route or non-authenticated route. These are to be defined here in the route with layout. But for my project also, I need one layout. So every project has its own layout where we have the header and footer there, and which we can use. We don't have to write it in every file. So header and footer will be there common for my project 1. So I will also create one file called as project 1 layout.js. So all my header and footer, common header and footer will go here. So I'll also do stemming. So right now I'm not filling anything. I'm just putting dummy things. I will say project 1 layout from project 1 layout. So I call this file also. Yesterday, if you remember, we created this scroll to top function, and I will import that also. Okay, and afterwards I will remove this one, and I'll show you what problem we are facing and why we put this one. So when time comes, I will remove this and I'll show you what is the need of this file. Now if I explain you will not understand the real importance of this file. Okay. Now, one more thing, we are doing setup now, setup of our project 1. This will take little time. It's not a very quick 1 second thing. So just bear with me. So you'll see it will be not done in a fraction of seconds. So if I go to React Bootstrap, I have the spinner. So when something on my website loads, till the data comes, I want to show the spinner as a loading icon so that user should know that something is coming from the backend. So I'll create this as a utility so that I can call when something is loading from the backend, I should show this. So I'll create in the utility, I'll create loading.jsx file. And here I'll just put the code which I got from that place. Okay, so I need to class name is correct. I have to import. So I'll import a spinner. Okay, why it's not saving? 1 second, let me see. Okay, so let it be there now, but it's not taking the auto correction. Why? I have to put manually. Why? I don't know. Okay, so just let's go with further. So I need to import this one also. Import loading from utils loading. Something is not right. Okay, so I want this prettier to run kind of thing. So my prettier takes the configuration file, which is not there. I will put the configuration file because I want prettier to run on my server. Let me put the prettier on my file. So I have these three files, ESLint, prettier, and config, which I use in my application for the automatic formatting. So this is my complete React one. I don't have these files. That's the reason it's not working. I'm adding the prettier files. So I put these three files. Okay. So now let's see. Now it's formatting automatically. Generally, if you are not specified the prettier file, it will work without this file. So you may have without this file, your prettier may work. And if it is not working, you have to go with the settings and check why it is not there. I may specify the path of the prettier which it should use. That's the reason it's asking the prettier path. Okay, so we are done with importing this stuff. I will also import. I will also create one file called as I'll call as not found.js. So sometimes user goes to the URL which does not exist, and then I want user to go to this component. So I created not found also. So what is right now? I just put dummy text, so you don't have to worry about the content. So when you are doing this project, just pause it and try to copy these statements here again. I also need one more part of the React that is called suspense. Okay, let's add the suspense. Now I will be creating some variables. Okay, what are the variables we see? This is the import statement. Now I'll be creating the variables. So the first variable which I'll create is constant not found is equal to, I will say react.lazy, and inside lazy I will have arrow function, and arrow function will have return of import of not just now the one which we created, not found component, this one. Now what this does, react.lazy does, so when the page loads, this import statement, that is this not found, is not loaded. This component is not really loaded on the page. It will be only loaded in the memory of this variable. So the real component is not there. Only the reference of this is there in the this variable. So when you call this not found anywhere in the page, then at that time it will asynchronously call this not found and display to the user. What it means is that if I have 1,000 components, I don't want to call all the 1,000 components on the page load. It will make page very heavy, and user will has to wait many seconds to see the page. So I will import all the components in the variable using the keyword react.lazy. Lazy is something utility given by the React that we should not immediately call this not found component, but we should call it when it is really needed. So we will be using this lazy process in all our React projects. The reason to use this is that tomorrow if I have 1,000 components, I don't want to load all 1,000 components immediately. I need to put it in variable, and when it is really called, then only it should be loaded and showed to the user. And that is the reason we are using this react.lazy. And this is something called as code splitting. This is called as code splitting. That means we are calling the code only when it is needed. So like this, I will be creating all my components in this format. So next I will call as home equal to react.lazy, and then I'll say import home. Okay, so we got home, we got not found. I will add one, I'll add auth one also. Okay, let's add the auth one, the one for the login and logout functionality. I will import we'll go outside this project and we'll go inside the components, and then we'll go inside the auth, and inside auth we have auth.js, so I'll say auth. Okay, so this is the auth one. I will also add logout. Sorry, I'll import. It will be in the same place. Components, inside the auth we have logout. So we define all the components which are needed. Right now we will add more when we go process through more. So we have project one layout and route with layout, which I will not use today because I just want to show the sign in one, auth one. This auth will also take a couple of days, maybe today, tomorrow. I don't know how much time it will take. Let's see. So these two also I'll add in few days, maybe tomorrow. I don't know when I get appropriate time. So now we have to define something here in the route. I have to start with boundary, this one boundary. So I start with this tag and end this tag. So everything is inside the error boundary. So any error comes, it will be cached in the error boundary and display to the user that something is erroring out. After error boundary, we have to use suspense. If I don't use suspense, and if I try to load this react.lazy, it will give me error because it will say that you are waiting for something, so you need to put suspense kind of thing. Since we are using this react.lazy, then therefore we need the suspense, because suspense will show the loading icon till we get this till we get this component. So we have to add the suspense, and I'll say fallback equal to, and in the fallback I have to tell which component or which div I have to show till this get loaded, or till this get loaded, or till this get loaded. So right now I have used this loading icon. I will say till my component loads, use this loading icon. Okay, so we got boundary and then we got the suspense. Next we have to go with the router. So everything which we write this route path, it should be inside the router part. So router should be at the top level. After router, I will have scroll to top functionality. The scroll to top has very special meaning, which I will show you practically when the time comes. Right now you just put it. Okay, after scroll we need a switch statement. Try to follow all the steps as I'm showing you. If you miss any of the step, you may get error and it will not work. Switch statement is we put different route in the switch so that when one URL we get, we don't have to go further. So it's kind of switch statement in JavaScript, but it's a switch of route. Okay, so switch statement is done. Then we have to put different routes. Okay, so let's use of route. Right now I'm commenting these two lines because I'm not using it. I don't want to put it here. I'll just comment these two. I'll be using this tomorrow or day after tomorrow. When we're done with the login, we will use this one. Okay, so now let's add the route for each one. I'll say route, and there I have to say component. Which component I have to call? For example, I have to call the home component, and path will be slash, and I have to use exact. That means when I have slash exactly, I will use this route. Let's copy this route again for my auth component, and let's say if I go to /auth, I should be able to use this component. Let's copy this one. Okay, next will be logout. Let's use the logout component, and when I'll use /logout when I go to the logout component. Let's copy this again one more time. So we are done with all these three, and only not found is there. So I will use not found now. So when I go to not found in the URL, it should go to not found component. And in the end, I can write redirect. That means if any of this route, no route is found in all these four combinations, then use the redirect one, and I will redirect to /not found. So if user goes to something which is not there in any of these routes, I will go to the not found, and it will go to this path, and it will display the not found component. Okay, so this is about my routing. So let's see if anything misses. So we have used all the variables. These two I just commented, and we have the variables. So my simple routing is done. Now I'll check how if it is working fine or it's giving me error. So before going to check it, I will see in my console I am not getting any error. It is my command PowerShell. So now what I'll do, I'll refresh the page. So you will see this is the /1. I'm getting the home one. Let's do the developer tools. Okay, let me refresh. I'm not getting any error. This is some logging statements. If I go to /auth, I'm going to auth, and you will notice the round circle is going on when if I go again, you will see there's a, though we will fix the CSS to make it little space before and after that, and I will go to logout. So something went wrong with logout. Let's see what is wrong with the logout. Element type is invalid. Let's check what is the logout one. So I'll go to logout. I did not put any elements, that's why it's giving me an error. So I just put the logout now and then again check. So I'm getting logout now, and I will check not found now. So I'm on the not found page. I'm on the home page. If I put something blah 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 which doesn't exist, so it's going to not found. So whenever URL is not there, it goes to not found. So this routing, all routings are working fine. So we have tested this routing part. Okay, so we put error boundary, we put suspense, we put router, scroll top, switch, and all the routing, and the redirect if it is not there. Okay, any question on the routing? Okay, let's go to the, we'll do 10-15 minutes more on the login part, because login part is big one. We need little time to complete it, but let's do something. So I will be building the login part, that is the auth, login and logout and register part, and it will be the real login authentication. And user, if logs in, he is logged in our website, and if he not log out, he will be out of the logout. So I can build my React Bootstrap form for the logout login like this. I can go to the form. I can go to the form. I can build something like email address, password, check me out, and I can say login or submit kind of thing. These are also good templates. If you go to this website, bootsnip.search quick login, I will put in the chat. So this website has a lot of login, login already built in login. Whichever you like, you can use it, or you can build your own in the. You can build your own using the Bootstrap, this login part. Okay, whatever you like, you can do in your application, and these have a lot of templates. Whatever you like, you can use it. You can use this one. This one is nice, and you can take use of any one of them, any of them. Okay, so there are different templates. These are the social buttons you can use if you want. Login page like Facebook, if you want to build like Facebook. Okay, whatever way you want, you can use it. Okay, but we will go with one of the template which I like it. So this is the template which I like it. So it has left side, it has login, and right side it has register kind of thing. So this article is there. I will put it in the chat also, in the Telegram chat also, and in this chat also. So you can go through this documentation, how he created the CSS and all. Right now, I'll just take the CSS and HTML and use it for my purpose. Okay. I generally don't want to waste my time on CSS and HTML if it is already available on internet. But if company gives me to write something custom thing which is not there on the website, then I try to build that myself. So it depends on your choice. If you like to build CSS, give more time on the CSS HTML, you can build your own. Or if you want, because I feel that this only I use CSS HTML myself when company gives me the task to do that. Okay, so if it is already available and I like something, I use that one. And if it is not available, then I build my own. And we have Bootstrap also. We can use any of the Bootstrap functionality for the nice looking interface. And Material UI is also very great in looks. It is much better than Bootstrap in the look wise. So you can also try some of the, you can check some of the features of Material UI. So when I see the Bootstrap, I don't like so much as I like Material UI. But then also use Bootstrap because a lot of things I already use, in my experience already in Bootstrap. So generally I use Bootstrap, but I have used in 4 or 5 projects I have used Material UI also. And I like those very much better than Bootstrap. So let's build this one quickly by taking the code from here and putting in our auth page. Then we will add functionality, which I will show you in the React. And this is only the CSS template. So I will just take this functionality and put it in my code. So I'll go in the auth.jsx and auth.css. So in the auth.jsx, since if I use the CSS provided by this website, it may clash with my CSS. So I will put everything of this auth inside one class called as class name equal to, maybe I can say auth. So everything inside auth will be going to this CSS given by this website. So I'll copy this and I'll put the code here. And I'll change the class name. Let's remove the comment to see how it looks. Okay, this is the first thing. I put the skeleton. Okay, let me do view toggles. So you can also copy from this website and do the stuff because this is something you can copy it. And then I will put my code on top of it, which you have to just watch the video and do it. So this has the sign up container, which goes the sign up code. This has the sign in container, which goes the sign in container. So if you see this is the overlay. So this is the sign up container, sign up code, and this is the sign in code. So sign in code will go inside the sign in part. Sign up one will go to sign up, and top of it, whatever you see this red color will go inside this overlay container. So this is the sign up one. Right now I will copy this code, but later on I will change it because this does not have all the React part, and so I will change this to my needs. Okay, right now I'm just putting this to show you. So this one is sign up one. So I'll put the sign up one here. And I'll rename all class to class name. Okay. Let's see how it looks now. So we have we have this sign up form. Okay, this sign up form is there, then this is the sign in code which will come just now. So I'll put the sign in code also. Let's go to sign in code and I'll take this sign in code form and put it inside the sign in. So I'm doing copy pasting, so you don't need to write it. Just copy paste from the website and try to see if it is working, and then we'll modify it to our needs, and we'll write the code to do the function. Right now it will not function. We need to make it functional. That you can write it by watching the video. So this is the sign in part, and this is the sign up pass, create account. Where is create account? It's not saying the create account. Okay, it's saying create account here. Then comes the overlay. Inside overlay we'll put this one. So for the overlay we use overlay with this one. Okay, let's check now. Okay, we got overlay. Welcome back. Hello friend. Okay. Now this JavaScript part is the normal JavaScript, the vanilla JavaScript, but we will use React one, so I will skip this part now. Now let's go to the CSS one. Right now I'll copy all and I'll put it in CSS. And everything I will append with .auth because I don't want to disturb this with my other CSS. So everything which I see, I will say .auth so that it should be only to my auth pages. I'll add more CSS. I'll add more CSS. And I'll append everything with the auth. Okay, so keyframe as a name of show, which I'm using is show, so I can keep it like this only. I don't need any other name for that. Let me add more CSS for overlay. And everything will be appended by .auth. Okay, so I added all the CSS now. Let's see how this looks. So it's not doing anything. Can anyone tell me why? I put all the CSS, but it's not working. It's not working. I don't see single. Okay, so yeah, reference not given to the CSS. So I created this auth.css, but I did not call it here. So I will call it. To call the CSS, I have to use import and then I have to give the CSS name. Right. We did not import it, auth.css. Okay, now let's see. So now I can see the whole thing which I have, but I cannot see the animation. I also cannot see this icons, right? So we need to fix those two things. So for this icon, so generally this is the font awesome icon, and this font awesome has a lot of different kinds of way to use the icon. So the way they have used is something which I don't use in this one. So I have to use the way which works font awesome, but the way which they are using can also be done, but that needs extra, you know, we need to import extra thing, and I have to check that. But the one which I use, I can use same thing, but I will modify their code little bit so that the CSS which I use can take use of their class name. So I'll just change the way they are using it. So I just remain FAB and fixes it so that it should work with the CSS I have. Still I haven't put that CSS, but I will be putting that CSS of font awesome. But at least I will fix their code, and then I'll put the CSS which will work with this class name. Okay, so I did this too, and I'll save it. 1 second. Okay, control, by mistake I pressed something. Okay, now I put this. Let's see this in this. Okay, got it on. Okay, let me refresh it. So still it's not coming. So what I do, I have to add the font awesome link, which I will give you in the chat also to you, and I will put in the Telegram group, and I'll put it here. So I have the font awesome link, and I will put this in the public folder index.html. After the title tag, I will put this link. I share this code in the Telegram group. You can take the code from there, and I put it here. This is something, the reference to the font awesome. Okay, and we are using this font awesome code so that I can take that icons. See, now I can see these icons here. So there are many ways to get this icon. One is font awesome, then there is a glyph icons, there is material UI icons. So you can use any way to get this icon. But right now we will not be doing this functionality, so this is only for display purpose. In future, we'll do some of the functionality, and then we can add those and remove others. Okay, so that's for temporary. I just put the icon. The only thing is I need the animation so that I can, when I click the sign up part should open like you see here. Like you see here. Like this. So for that, I have to use this JavaScript code which they have given, but I have to use in React way this part. So what they are doing, when I click the sign up button, it is adding this right panel active to the container. And when I'm clicking the sign in, it is removing the right panel active. So container has right panel active when we click the sign up, and when we click the sign in, it removes the right panel active. So we'll take use of this to write in our React way to do the same functionality. So in React, we don't do like this way. We don't add event listener for the click. Okay, we have to do in the React way, as we already saw how we do in React. We do in React in the way of state and props. So let me add the state. I'll rename it sign up and set sign up. And I'll say react.use state. Initially, I will make it false. So this class name as a container. So let me take one variable called as let classes is equal to container. So I'm using this container. And when this sign up is true, if sign up is true, I will append this classes is equal to classes plus what you saw in the document. We have to add this right panel active. So when user will click sign up, I will set this sign up to true, and if sign up is true, it will append the class to the classes. So container will have this class. When this class will come, when the sign up will be true. When this sign up will be true, when I click the button sign up, initially it is false. When I click the button sign up, I will call this set sign up and make this sign up true. And once it becomes true, classes will have the class right panel active, and we will be able to see the right side. And I'll remove this container and I will use the classes. So what I will do, when user click the sign up button, that is, when user click this sign up button, this sign up button, I will make this sign up true. And if this sign up is true, classes will have the right side active panel, and then these classes will have right panel active, and then I will be able to see it. When I click the sign in button, I will make this sign up false, and the right panel will go away, and we will be able to see left panel. So let's take use of this function and do on the click of the button. So I'll go into the container. So this is the container. It has the sign in button and the sign up button. So when user click the initially, we see sign up. So when I click the sign up button, on click equal to, when user click this sign up button, I will call the set sign up equal to true. So when I click the set the site sign up true, this will become true, and we will be able to see the right side. Let's take it. So when I click now here, I'm able to see the right side and not the left side. But when I click here, nothing will happen because I haven't written the code for this one. So I will also write the code for the sign in one also. I will copy this code here, and here only set sign up will become false. So when I click sign in, it will become false, and I am not inside this one, and I will be able to see left side. But when I click sign up, this will become true, and we are inside this, and I will be able to see the right side. So I'm basically making this in the React. So now if I refresh, now I click sign up, I see this create account page where I will put name, and I'll put email, and I'll put password, and click the sign up button. When I click sign in, I'm in the sign in, I put the email and password, and I sign in, and then I can log into the website. So I can go here, I can go here. So this sign up page will be all my projects. I will be using this sign up page for all my projects. Though all projects will be different, but I'll be using this one for all the projects. So today's task for you is use this website I gave you in the chat and make the sign up page like this. At least you can go from sign up to this one, tomorrow we will add a functionality that is when user clicks sign in, he should really be logged in to my parse server. That is what we'll do tomorrow. So for today, just you to finish this CSS part. Do it today only, because if you wait for weekend, then a lot of things will be done and you will have a lot of burden to complete the things.